Good morning, everybody. Why does this video look dark this morning? Anyway, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday already. Wow. My name is Pinique Singleton from connectwithpinique.com. Welcome to this morning's episode of If You Woke Up, You're Winning. Hope you guys are up and happy to be alive this morning. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. This morning we're going to talk about something a little bit different. You know, a lot of times if I have a conversation with somebody and I feel like, you know, it's something that can benefit other people, I like to share that information. So this morning, we're going to talk about making decisions, right? Because it can be very hard to make decisions, especially life-changing decisions, you know, when it comes to maybe a job or going back to school or starting a business or, you know, anything like that. So we're going to talk about decisions just for a little while this morning. You know, it is a new month, right? So a lot of people are trying to make different decisions about new things that they're going to do in their lives or different directions that they may need to go in. So, you know, this might be helpful to somebody. So, basically yesterday I was having a conversation with somebody that needed to make a tough decision, you know, about some different life things. And she was just like, how do I decide? And so some of the advice that I gave her, I'm going to just share with you guys because maybe that could help you as well. So, you know, a lot of times the first thing people try to do is weigh the pros and cons. And that's definitely a great place to start. You know, write down the good, write down the bad, you know, make a list of the pluses, make a list of the minuses. That's definitely a good first step. But even when you're making a list of the pros and cons, decisions are still difficult to make sometimes, right? It's still hard to decide sometimes, even though you have this list of these things. So there's some other things you can consider, and that might make your choice a little bit easier, because you can still get stuck. You got your list of pros and cons. Now what? You know, why are they pros? Why are those cons? You know, so that brings me to my next point is do some research. You know, don't be scared to do research, you know, so you can make an informed decision. A lot of people make decisions without being informed on really what they mean, you know, on really what are the pros and cons, you know what I'm saying? So do some research. You know, if you're trying to decide between two jobs in different parts of the country, maybe all you know is one of them is on the East Coast and one is on the West Coast. But do some research about the area, you know, do some research about the climate, the cost of living, what is there to do there, because there's more than just knowing it's on one's on the West and one's on the East. So do some actual research. Some people don't really drill down. They just look at it high level. And that's why it's hard to make a decision, because you don't have all the facts that you need. Which brings me to my next point, number 2, is take some time. Y'all, if it's an important decision, don't rush it. Now, I know sometimes you might be under a deadline if you're trying to decide, like I said, like between two jobs, and you might have a certain amount of time to let the people know. That's understandable. But if you have a week to let them know, don't try to make the decision in 15 minutes. You know, like I said, take the time, you know, do your research. You know, I had a friend a while back. She was trying to decide between two jobs. And she's like, I just don't know what to do. And she's getting really stressed out. But she hadn't done any research yet. She hadn't really taken the time. I mean, she looked at a few things. But one of the companies wanted to fly her out for an interview. And the other job was kind of in an area that she was familiar with already. So I said, go to the interview. Take an extra day or two to look at the area, to do some research. Take some time, right? And when she did, she realized that that was an area that she did not want to live in. She did not want to work in. So although the job was, you know, seemed pretty good, she didn't take it. But you see what happens when you take the time? When she was just trying to rush and make the decision right away without doing her research, she was super stressed out. And then after going out there, it was an easy decision to make. So take the time. Don't try to rush into everything. And that brings me to my next point. Don't overthink it, though. Yes, you want to do research, but a lot of us, we start immediately overthinking things. We make things difficult. We love to make things difficult, don't we? I mean, we start thinking about every single thing that could go wrong. And a lot of times, these are things that never happen. I mean, these things have never happened to anybody in life. But we create all these crazy things in our head. What could go wrong? We just overthinking it. So don't overthink it. You know, make your list, do your research, take your time, and just stick to those facts. Don't create all these extra things in your head when you're trying to make a decision about something. And then number 4 is don't ask everybody. You know, a lot of times we have something going on. We want to ask 7 people. And a lot of times the people that we're asking, they have no idea. They've never been in this situation. They never lived in that place you're trying to decide if you want to live. You know, there's all kinds of things. They don't know your background. You know, they don't know what would be best for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we all have that best friend. We all have that family member, maybe a parent or somebody. that we want to go to and ask. And I'm not saying you can't get their opinion, but just make sure that you end up ultimately making the decision for you. You know, I have a friend who was trying to decide on, the same friend that flew out to check out that area for the job. Her mom was already telling her, you need to take the other job. But why? Her mom just was being selfish and wanted her to live close to her, right? So sometimes when you ask your friends and family, you got to make sure when they give you the advice it's coming from the right place. And sometimes they might mean well, but they don't know all the aspects of your life. You know, you don't live with that person on a day-to-day basis a lot of times. They don't know all the other background details. They just know the overview, the high level that you've given them. So that's why you can't ask everybody. Now, when you're trying to make a decision, you know, that brings me to my next point is don't be afraid to do what's best for you. Now, I know your parents' opinion, your friends' opinion are important to you, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. You know what I mean? Because if you're not happy, you can't be of any help to those people. You know, you can't be of any help to anybody else if you're not in a good place. You know, I know some people say they're doing certain things maybe for their children, and that's understandable. You know, when you have a family, you have to consider the family. You know, when you have kids or a spouse, you know, you got to consider it. And I'm not saying not to, but, you know, you also have to do what's best for you. I know you don't want your kids to have to move and switch schools, but your child is 2. Okay, your child is 2. Your child is going to make new friends, right? So you sometimes have to do what's best for you, because you can't do what's best for that child if you're unhappy, if you're depressed, if you didn't take the job that allows you to make, you know, more money or whatever, right? That's just like on an airplane when they tell you to put your mask on first and then help your children or help the other people next to you. Why do they tell you that? Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't help anybody else, right? So that's why they tell you that. They don't tell you that because they want you to be selfish. But if you don't make it, if you don't get your breathing right, you're not going to be able to assist, right? That's why they tell you that. So that's the same thing. You got to make the decision that's going to be best for you and put you in the best place mentally. You know, I had a friend saying, well, you know, I got to help such and such family member. But that's true. But if you don't make the right decision for you, you're not going to have the money to help them. You know, she said they want to borrow money. True. But if you don't have the money, you can't help them. So you got to take care of yourself first. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself first and making the decision that's best for you. Okay? So hopefully that's all. I'm going to stop there. You know, those 5 things. So if you've got an important decision to make, if you got something you've been wrestling with, you've been going back and forth with, hopefully those points that I shared this morning will help you in making an informed decision, right? So that's about it. Like I said, I was talking to a friend last night, had a big decision to make about some life-changing things. And these are some of the tips and some of the things that I gave her. So, you know, if you got a big decision coming up, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do. It could be a business opportunity, a job, you know, going back to school, moving, you know, to another area, whatever it is, you can apply these things and really just, you know, take the time to think before making your decision. And then hopefully you'll make the right decision, right? I know you will. So maybe those are some things you hadn't thought about before. A lot of people don't consider some of those things I just shared. So hopefully they help somebody. If it helped you, definitely like, comment, and share. Maybe somebody else needs to see it. Maybe somebody else has been wrestling with something, going back and forth, and maybe this will help them as well, right? So I'm going to get out of here and let you guys get on with your Thursday. I know a lot of you guys are headed to work and you got things to do. So I'm going to let you go. Good morning, everybody that's watching. Tamika, Miranda, Starlet, Pearl, I see you on here. Who else is on here? Leroy, Deshay, Crystal. Thank you guys for jumping on with me this morning. You know I love when you guys come on in the morning. So I'm gonna get out of here. Before I go, definitely want to tell you guys to get off of Facebook now and get out there and be great on purpose today. All right, because you can do it. I believe in you. You just have to believe in yourself and make the choice to be great. So get out there and choose greatness on this Thursday and make some good decisions. All right. Happy Thursday. Happy first day of June. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Y'all have an awesome and amazing day.